because of the failure of the special session. Couldn't have been more of an important issue, jobs in the state. We chose this location because the unemployment office is in this building, and we're afraid that the economy may slip farther with almost 9% unemployment in this state. We think it's an abject failure of the Republican leadership in the Missouri House to let this jobs bill die. We spent almost $300,000 of taxpayer money to get almost nothing done. In contrast to that, last year the governor called us in for special session. We got almost 4,000 good-paying jobs in Kansas City, and as a result of that, we've also obtained another assembly line and a second shift at the Wentzville plant in Wentzville. Those are the kind of jobs we need. I think you can see there's quite a difference between last year and this year, which can only be attributed to failure on the leadership, the part of the leadership of the Republican Party. It's really a shame. They told us they had a deal. They went around the state saying, we have a deal, we're going to pass jobs in this state, trust us. They failed. To be sure, the Republicans are driving the bus in Jefferson City. The problem is they drove it off a cliff. Unemployed and the underemployed people in this town, in this state, cannot afford to wait. So we call on the leaders of the Republican Party to get back to work now so that we can go to Jefferson City in January and actually create jobs, as they promised the people of this state they would do. Not only did we lose the Aerotropolis language, but also Kansas City lost their job retention bill. They are being gutted by the state of Kansas right now. Hundreds and hundreds of jobs are going to the state of Kansas, moving right across the road where Kansas offers incentives to lure those businesses away. We lost incentives for sporting events. St. Louis used to host the NCAA tournament. We've lost that for years now because the state of Texas and others offer an incentive program to try and draw those sporting events here. Those are huge money makers for the state, and we should have had that included in this package. It should have passed with everything else. We lost local control of the city police department in St. Louis. How long do the citizens of St. Louis have to wait for the control of their own police department? Since the Civil War, they've lost that. It is now 2 years it's been held up in the Senate, held hostage for someone's political agenda. We're tired of it. They couldn't even pass a date change for the presidential primaries. They've also passed a resolution insulting one of the state's largest employers because what they said was they didn't read the bill closely. So we're here to say, please help get Missourians back to work. Stop blaming each other and provide jobs for the state as you promised.
Thank you again for coming. The one point I want to make sure is that everyone gets across is when the people send you to speak for them and create jobs and you fail to do so, you should lose your job. And that's the result of this not so special session. Missouri has about a 9% unemployment rate and double digits in the black community. And what did they do? They spent over $250,000 on having a professional debate club. GOP leadership put politics, personal gripes, and special interests over the needs of struggling Missourians. In the end, it was a session of no. No economic development tools for states around us that constantly take our jobs, no Aerotropolis, no local control for the St. Louis City Police Department, no agreement on moving the presidential primary, no sports tax credits. And there's an old quote that I like to remind people of that says, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I hope the voters of Missouri are paying attention because supermajorities in the House and Senate have yielded absolutely no jobs for Missourians, no progress for Missourians who are out of work, struggling to make ends meet, and trying to keep their families clothed and fed. Thank you for coming.